Okay, so Papua New Guinea and Wales have finished the group stages for us at the Rugby League World Cup up in Doncaster. Torrential conditions, heavy rain, like horrendous conditions. I'm surprised there wasn't more handling errors. PNG have run out 36-0 winners. It was 24-0 at half time, so the second half lost a little bit of intensity and a little bit of direction. And the Welsh really did dig in the second half and had a lot more possession, had a lot of repeat sets, just couldn't get over the line. The clear golfing class, and it's to do with the halfbacks really. When you've got settled halfbacks like you have with PNG and you have part-timers with Wales, you can see the difference in quality. But hey, the first half you're thinking early on that PNG, even with the difficult playing conditions, are going to, completely demolish Wales, like some of the blowout scores we've seen and some of the mismatches we've seen in this World Cup. It wasn't the case. The Welsh did dig in the second half and did frustrate PNG a little bit. PNG possibly a little bit guilty of overplaying. But Carl Labert starts the scoring on 8 minutes. He's had a very, very good tournament so far. He's had a handful of games in the NRL. He's a Queensland Cup player at the moment, but he's quite a decent halfback, and his kicking game proved nightmarish for the Welsh back three to deal with in very testing conditions. And he's also a very, very powerful halfback. He's quite a sizable halfback, and he's very good at making that run from dummy half and using his power and pace, and he's done that throughout the tournament. That was a very good trial in 8 minutes. Reece Martin, obviously, Mr. I don't miss many conversions, slots the conversion. Nixion Putt only 4 minutes later. He had a very, very good game. Powerful, elusive runner, very difficult to stop. He scored his first 2 tries on 12 minutes. Reece Martin converted that one. Jimmy Ngutlik, he's currently in the West Tigers system in the NRL. I think he will get some game time this coming NRL season. With the coaching setup changes at West Tigers, I do think he'll get some game time. He's had a very, very good match. Again, he's had 2 tries as well. I don't know what the Welsh defence is doing there, but that's too easy to run that length of the field. He's worked out. He's come in field for some work, and he's seen 2 very tired front row forwards, and he's gone through the middle of them. That shouldn't be happening, but that's very good vision and a good run. That's obviously clearly something that they've noticed in Wales' previous 2 games. Is around midway through the first half, their front row forwards are starting to tire a little bit. That's a targeted play on a 7 tackle set and straight through the middle, and that's a fantastic try. Daniel Russell, back row forward, can also play centre, has also played on the wing. He had a very, very good game. He scores his try in 30 minutes. He was playing on the wing in the opening match against Tonga. He's back in his more traditional back row forward position. He had a very, very good game, a lot of minutes, about 60 minutes tonight. Again, the Welsh have just slightly zoned off in defence there, which they didn't do in the second half. They were much better defensively in the second half, but that was a bit of a soft try to concede. Body height, body angle, he's got underneath them, he's reached out, and he shouldn't be scoring that try really. But again, another Queensland Cup player. He's been around NRL squads, especially North Queensland Cowboys. He's had some injuries in his career, Daniel Russell, but he looks like he could be a pickup for an NRL team at some point. He might get a contract offer. He's a very, very good player. He's had a very, very good tournament so far. And then half-time comes. Reece Martin has kicked all the conversions tonight. So half-time comes, it's 24-0. And again, they start the second half like they finished the first. They're on top, repeat set after repeat set after repeat set. The Welsh cannot get out of their half. They can barely touch the ball. But they are defending stoutly, and it took until 47 minutes for the 5th try from Nixion Putt. He was the man of the match as well. And then this is where the game loses direction, loses a little bit of intensity. PNG are guilty of overplaying and not also playing the conditions. If that is dry conditions, then yes, I think those plays do stick. I think you can get away with some of those offloads and some of those push passes, but they were guilty of overplaying. They're trying to get Alex Johnson on the ball as much as possible, and Justin Olam on their left channel. Now, Alex Johnson is more of a winger than a fullback, and the position he's taking is on the inside of Justin Olam, when really he should be going on the outside to create an overlap, which would have been possibly a better option to get him in his preferred areas in the wide channels. So they're trying to get Alex Johnson on the ball quite a bit. The Welsh dig in. They dig in defensively. They do disrupt the PNG play. And when you're overplaying, it's a bit frustrating. Then the Welsh get a lot of ball, a lot of repeat sets. They are battering away at the PNG line, and they don't score. They had opportunities, and they don't score. The interesting thing is the handling was very, very good in what was horrendous conditions. That is the heaviest rain I think we've had at the tournament so far, the worst conditions we've had at the tournament so far. There's more rain due this week, so that we may have quite a damp weekend when it comes to the quarterfinals. So this may be a good experience for PNG to have played in these conditions, considering that more bad weather is due later in the week. So this may be a good lesson for them not to overplay in these conditions. Their discipline also started to go a little bit as well. There was a few high tackles in there, a few differential penalties. They are going to be playing England in the quarterfinals, so that's something they're going to have to tighten up on. The final try, though, I think is actually their best try technically. The kick from Labour is a spiral, swirling bomb. The back three completely get it right. I don't know what the fullback and the winger are doing. They're not communicating very well. They let the ball bounce, and Jimmy Ngutlik scores his second try on the night, and that's good follow-up play. That's good kick chase. And there's at least three PNG players who could take that bouncing ball and score the try. It so happens he's the first one there. That's on 77 minutes, and that rounds out the scoring. Rhys Martin has converted all tries on the night. Wales not scoring, I think they will be disappointed. I think they, out of the lower ranked home nations such as Ireland, Scotland, and themselves, the Welsh, they've been the best. They've been the most competitive out of the lower ranked European nations. Apart from Italy, they've been the best. Scotland were terrible this World Cup. Wales have been competitive. They were unlucky against the Cook Islands, and they did challenge Tonga and pose questions for the Tongan side. But tonight they had a lot of possession, didn't score, and it was the last play was a problem. Their kicking game, they misjudged that. Too many kick 7 tackle sets they gave away. And that's the golfing class between a settled halfback pairing in Labour and Lamb, who've had a very, very good tournament so far, and the Welsh halfback pairing. Labour and Lamb have played at a higher level, you can tell that. They've been around NRL squads, and you can definitely tell the difference between the Queensland Cup and New South Wales Cup PNG players and the Championship and League One players here for the Welsh. That reserve grade, that second tier competition in Australia is a better quality than the second tier competition here in the Super League. That is something that is the strength in depth is quite noticeable, and tactically they got things a little bit wrong, the Welsh. They had a lot of possession. They come away with nothing. However, their second half defensive performance was much improved from the first half. They tightened up a little bit. The weather conditions deteriorated further, and when you've got a team that's really far ahead at half time, PNG lost their focus and were guilty of overplaying. However, I think this would be a good lesson for PNG going into the England game. They played in horrendous conditions. I think they would have taken a lot out of that game, and now PNG have proven they can win outside of PNG, which is something they couldn't do 5-6 years ago. Then they have the World Cup in 2017, which they co-hosted with Australia and New Zealand, and now they've proven they can win outside of Port Moresby, which is kind of terrifying. And this PNG side, guess what? They beat the Great Britain Lions in 2019. A lot of those players were involved in that team, so the England team won't hold any fear for them. They won't be intimidated by the England team at all, I don't think. They'll have no fear there, and it's going to be a tasty quarter-final. But the Welsh can hold their heads up high with their defensive effort in the second half. But they allowed PNG a head start, and then they couldn't convert the opportunities they had in the second half. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please place your thoughts in the comments section below, and I'll have some more video content for you very, very soon.